About 3.5 years ago, just after it was publicly announced that I would be succeeding Avram Infeld as the next president of Hillel, I got a phone call in my office, and my assistant said, there's a Mr. Firestone calling from Skokie, Illinois. And I stopped for a moment and asked her to put the call through. And this was my Uncle Harvey, who at the time told me he was 96 years old. And the last time I had seen him was years earlier, before I'd moved to Israel and sort of lost contact with him. And as a result, this was really the sort of reunion. And he said, I'm calling just because a colleague handed me a JTA story saying that you're the next president of Hillel. I'm calling to congratulate you and say Mazel Tov. So I'm feeling as great as one can imagine. I'd lost contact after moving to Israel with this is a great uncle. It's my grandfather's brother. My grandfather had passed away. And so we chatted a little bit, and he said, one of the reasons I'm really proud of you and wanted to call you is because just this very year, I'm being honored by B'nai B'rith for 75 years of service to B'nai B'rith. And so I know that, Hillel, had started under the B'nai B'rith umbrella, and I sort of, have seen how great, all the great things that the organization is doing. So I'm so proud. And so I'm sitting here thinking, like, God, it just doesn't get any better than this. And just, saying, it's terrific, and I'm glad you're proud. And then he says to me something that I didn't expect. He said, I have one more question for you. He said, I want to solicit you. I'm being honored for 75 years, and they're putting a scholarship for BBYO students coming, so I'd like to have your support for that. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, this is exactly what I'm about to be doing, and isn't this terrific? Here it is, this relative of mine for 75 years has been supporting B'nai B'rith, and I'm in a position now to actually contribute money for his scholarship fund in his name. It was a wonderful thing. So we're about to get off the phone, and he says, I have one other question I want to ask you. He said, I noticed in the JTA article that your middle initial is L, and I wanted to know if there's any special meaning for that. And I said, well, my middle name is Lloyd, and I can't think of any particularly Jewish connection to my middle name, so I don't think so. He said, I just figured I'd ask you because we actually have some relatives here in Skokie who have been doing some genealogical research on the family and the family tree, and we've identified an entire generation of Firestones that all have the middle initial L. And the reason, which I learned, is that my grandfather's father, my uncle's father, lost a brother who did not make it out of Poland. And his name was Laser. And all of the generations of Firestones have had that middle initial L in their name. And when he told me the story, I froze for a moment, really thinking about it. And I remember feeling at the time an arm arcing through history with my great uncle as the messenger. And I said, Uncle Harvey, my Hebrew name is Laser. And I never knew the significance of the loss of this individual. So thank you. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for calling me thank you for asking me for money today, because you've shared a piece of my Jewish identity, my Jewish story, my Jewish narrative that I just didn't know.